Charlie, tell us what we're about to...
You're going to see my sons. I mean, his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
When they were very young, and this is really before they became the Marx Brothers, as
They were the Ritz Brothers, then.
Carry on.
In the movies. And as a matter of fact, they don't really have the costumes that they were later so famous for till the end of the show, just before they did I'll Say She Is. Mm-hmm. But we were stranded in Nacogdoches, Texas, and the boys got together a school act, which was what kids did in those days, and the boys are going to do a little excerpt from it, from the show.
Great.
For you.
Go.
Order. This class will come to order. I said order, you order.
Make a mine a meatball soup with a Tootsie Fruitsy sauce. Hold the mayo.
You know, I ought to join a club and hit you over the head with it. Now, first subject is geography. Ravelli, what's the shape of the world?
I don't know. I'm from out of town.
Well, what's the shape of my cufflinks?
Square?
Not these, the ones I wear on Sundays.
Round.
Now, what's the shape of the world?
Square on the weekdays, round on the Sundays.
You know you're revolting.
No, I'm revolting. He's disgusting. Well, nice to meet you, Mr. Revolting.
Teacher.
Yeah, what is it, Hoppo?
Teacher, what's a yet?
A yet?
Yeah, it said in the newspaper that Mrs. Throckmorton was shot in her apartment last night, and the bullet is in her yet.
And that's what they call freedom of the press.
Soap.
Hey, wait a minute, what do you think you guys are doing?
We just thought we'd sing a couple of bars.
Oh, sometimes I think I must be going mad. Now, enough of this. It's time to test the vocabulary. Ravelli, what's a corpuscle?
That's easy. First there's a captain, then a lieutenant, then a corpuscle.
You know, you have the brain of a 4-year-old child, and I bet he was glad to get rid of it. Enough of these easy subjects. Hoppo, recite the alphabet.
A.
That's
so good.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful, but what comes after A?
W.
W?
Well, I'll give you a little hint. What buzzes around and makes honey from flowers?
A B.
Yeah, well, that's excellent, but what comes after B?
O. Not O. X.
Well, I'll give you another hint. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
You nasty teach.
Gummo wasn't in that.
Well, we put him
Gummo
in.
was lucky.
Yeah.
No, Gummo was in the school act. Of course he was.
Was he really?
Yes. Yeah.
We never got
I remember we had one joke in there that I don't hear now when they do the school act.
Mm-hmm.
Is where he says, name the principal parts of a cat.
Yeah.
And he says eyes, ears, nose, feet, tail. He says, yeah, and I say to him, he isn't looking at me, he's looking out that way. And I'm the teacher and I'm in back of him. I say, what has a cat got here that you haven't got? He says, oh, kittens.
How far did that get you?
It got us
from Texas to Missouri.
Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches. I remember reading about you in Nacogdoches. You didn't have a good time there.
No, we got arrested for playing casino on the porch of the hotel on Sunday. They had those big verandas in those days in the South. Also used for lynching. It was a very handy place, and we were playing cards for nothing because we didn't have any money. Yeah. And the sheriff came along and pinched us. Pinched each of us individually.
Oh, I see.
It was one of the best sheriffs I ever saw.
Okay. I got a straight answer out of you. Did you ever play the White House, incidentally?
Yes, I did. I played the White House. I had a long talk with Eleanor Roosevelt. And while I was talking to her in the White House, this Marine band was playing in the courtyard down there. And they were playing all those old Sousa marches, you know. And I said, Mrs. Roosevelt, now I know why you keep traveling all the time.
Did she find you amusing?
Yeah, she did. We were all there. It was Bob Hope and Pat O'Brien and Cary Grant and
Yeah.
Cagney. And practically all the biggest. We raised $300 million in bonds.
Geez.
This was for
During
the
the Second World War.
World War, yes.
What were the worst places on the road to travel?
The war
to visit?
itself, I think.
But were there any particular towns that you dreaded?
No, it was a lot. We had a lot of fun. We had our own private train and a lot of beautiful girls on there.
Your own
who
train?
were in the
He
show.
meant in the USO.
Oh, on the USO tour you had your own train.
Yes, no, I
Yeah.
wasn't on the battlefield then. I was later when I got home to my wife, but no, we had Joan Blondell and we had, I
Yes.
can't think of all the women that we had in the show, but we had all the legendary beauties that were in Hollywood at
He
the
doesn't
time.
mean it in the biblical sense.
No, no, of course not. When you said the battlefield, your
I wanna
counterparts.
ask- Well, I did some biographical material. I read a lot of it, and in the Crichton book, which is a very good book on the Marx Brothers, they speak of a time when you went for your army physical in World War I, and they said that all the brothers, with the exception of Gummo, were
Gummo was in
rejected.
the army.
Yes, he was in the army, but
He
they
just
said
got
that
out a few days ago. He's taking no chances.
when the inspector, it's just a little line in the book. It said when the inspector saw you when you took your clothes off, he recoiled in horror.
I do that every night.
We have to recoil in
I
horror.
got to
Wait a
say
minute.
one line. One
Okay,
line.
say it.
I was in the office of a general. This was in the Korean War. And I was playing camps and hospitals then, like everybody does today. And the phone rang, and I picked it up, and I said, Third World War, and hung up.
You're the one, you originated that?
Yes.
That's been stolen many times.
I don't mind.
Dick, this conversation will lead me right into the audition I did for this show, the song that I sang. Well, he did his audition after your
What
commercial.
are chances of getting you to do that after this
Yeah.
message? Okay, we'll be right back. See you later.